Okay, how about now? All right, I knocked the cable out. I knocked the cable out. That would indeed make it hard to have sound. Well, it's a good thing then that you didn't hear me start off by saying good morning in the afternoon stream. Totally no idea that you would now know that. So, what are we doing today? We are attempting to get out of Wood League. And we have not been very good at this. So I was thinking about this because like we've had several people stop by and say, hey, it's easy. I got into Bronze League just fine. It was super easy. And it makes me think that I'm doing something extremely wrong because it should be simple, right? I should just be able to just do simple things and then just go to it. So what am I doing wrong? Should we change our strategy up or continue trying to like I don't think that we're tweaking stuff, but I don't know if like the full strategy is right. Which would explain why when we tweak, we get slower. Or yeah, we pretty much like we're not getting any better. So that's a thing. So what do we do? What does the boss do? We know that the boss goes straight for the center at 100 speed. We know the boss, as soon as the boss hits the checkpoint, goes to 0 speed and then back to 100. And then just that seems to be it. That seems to be what the boss is doing in Wood League. I'm wondering if we could do the same thing. What is this called? We are on now we do the entire thing where we figure out, we do the loop, we get the pod, and we get all that stuff. I'm wondering if each loop we reset. Let's just try a I almost want to retry this function here, like what we got going on. It's not the best idea. I'm just going to comment it out. We do have it in GitHub. I could delete it and bring it back fairly easily, but we're gonna try this. Okay. The idea. We set our speed to 100. So we have our pod speed at max speed, right? So that should be set to 100 at the beginning of each sort of movement point. if I am within, so I guess we're going to start with this. We're going to sort of like reset our strategy. So I'm just going to do a max speed, and then we're going to just aim at the target and go at the target. Okay, so we'll start there again. Now, I assume that we're going to lose, but I want to sort of like reset my expectations for how badly we're losing with no strategy at all. Not even boosting. Oh, I'm going after, why am I going after one? Because the target's never been set. Right, that's what it is. I need to always be going after, right, we need this thing where if checkpoint, so I basically want, okay, so if the checkpoints are all mapped, oh, which one we're going towards? I don't want to do that. We need to set what the target is once we get there. That's what we need to do here. So always be going at max speed. If we're not at the next checkpoint, change the target. Move towards the target. Do I have an error? I have many errors. Oh, how did I turn that off? Now I have no errors. Okay, so we're not that far behind the boss. Even when the boss used the boost. Probably because the boss doesn't use the boost at a necessarily good time, but I think it's showing that our strategy previously was just slowing us down. So there's other things that we could potentially do, like we could try oversteering, we can try other stuff. So I think if we're far enough away, like we're over over 5,000 over 10,000 away. And it's a straight line, we're pointed at it. We just boost. Well, what if we just try that? Oh, keep forgetting. I'm trying to use jump targets today. Okay, so we switch the checkpoints. So we do that. We want to do our potential boosting thing. Let's do that here. So if the next checkpoint Y, so yeah, I guess like if our target I have the angle too. So I'm storing in the angle. I have the angle and then I have distance to next. So I can just do this all there. So I could just do like pod dot run, let's say. Okay, so if self dot distance to next is greater than some, large number, so 10,000, let's say, and self dot angle is less than 0.1, let's say, then self dot boosting, or we just call the function, don't we? Self dot boost. And that's all we're going to do right now. So this should use a boost now, potentially towards the first one. I did not boost. I probably should have, and I wonder if our distance is too far away. So let's try, instead of 10,000, 5,000. I still don't boost. What is the distance? What is the angle? Zero, okay. Okay, distance to next, like 13,000. So I could, yeah, look at that. Okay, so my angle is appropriately changing. So it's like 1.0 or so. So if self distance next is greater than 5,000, so we've seen it be greater than 100, and self angle is less than 0.1. We've seen both of those before. Am I trying to boost? I'm not seeing boost change in there. Those are the 2 times where it should. Let's see if that boost function is not doing what I expect it to. Oh, I think I need to read. Okay, so actually I think it's right. I think I need to get speed instead of pod.speed. That runs the boost. That's my problem. Yeah, so I boost right away. So I probably want to be over 10,000 if possible. But I feel like I'm closer even now. Okay. So I boost that right away, and that's fine. Okay, so let's say we stay with that, and then I want to do what the boss is doing. I want to slow down just a tiny bit. And so we can try the thing where if we're moving away from the, okay, so if the next destination is farther away, then we slow down. And so we do the thing where we slow down based upon and this could be part of run. So Xanax, hello. How are you doing today? Oh, let's do a slowdown here, because then we can also add in. Only do this if self.speed is equal to 100. So if let's get the current distance. Okay, so if the next distance, if that's greater than the previous distance or equal to, so that's the previous distance. So we're moving away from it. I want to self.slow down. And that's all. And then you need to hand in the distance. Yeah, it does look like that, doesn't it? The boss goes to 0 power for like 1 frame, sometimes maybe 2. I was wondering if maybe I could like do this to not necessarily go all the way to 0 for a frame, and maybe I can just go down like partway. But I don't think this is working because I am slightly behind. I don't think I'm catching up either. Yeah, eventually we're going to have to optimize turn direction. I'm like talking to the others. I don't think I should need to optimize for that for Wood League. I would imagine that's going to be something we have to do in the next league. That seemed to slow me down more. So like I got farther behind. So I'm thinking for run, this was not a good idea. So we should not slow down. Now I could make my slow down. We could just cut speed. What was the other thing that the boss does? The boss hits the boss does cut speed altogether when at a checkpoint. So when choosing the next checkpoint, next turn, let's cut our speed to 0. So if we do this, then I want to tell us like basically pod like skip skip next tick. So if I skip 1 tick, so I have if I set this to a U8, for skip ticks, we just set so we set u equal to that, and then when we run, if we're skipping, so if self dot skip the tick is greater than 0, I want to basically reduce this by 1. And then we're just returning. And that should cause me to stop. And that, I think, should be very similar to what we're seeing the boss do. So I want to see. I'm on boost the entire time. Like it's boosting instead of going back to what it was. Okay, so that's not helpful. I thought when I did boost, okay, so if boost used is greater than 0, self-boosting true, boost used is plus equals to 1. Okay. So when I run boost like that, boosting is true. Oh, and then what I need to do is at run, we need to reset you. So reset you like that. Hero Dev, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I don't know why I didn't hear that at the stream notifications. But welcome. Thank you for the raid. How was your stream today? Kuba Guzik, hello. How are you doing today? We are working on a we're playing a game in codingame called Mad Pod Racing. This is the game here. We're basically piloting a pod from a kind of, sort of, but nondescript sci-fi galaxy that is very popular but unnamed, and we're trying to beat a boss. And so far we've been unable to. So we're on Wood League, which is the lowest of the leagues. We've got ourselves up to Wood 1, so all we have to do is get past 184 ranking, get down to 1, and then we can get ourselves up to the Metal Leagues, Bronze. So that's what we're going for right now. And we've been getting closer, but not the strategies I've been attempting to do are not very good. So today we're experimenting with different strategies and seeing if we can get ourselves closer to winning. So I am the orange one in this case, and the red is our boss opponent. I can't see that I'm stopping the boost. Like, I see my speed is always 100, and I was trying to turn it off for a tick after hitting each of these, and I don't think I am. And since I'm not doing anything different other than that, we're going to lose. So let's see. Okay, so we boosting equals boosting. Okay, so we can turn off that debug. And so I boost that once. And so I get to this point and my standard output is still 100. It's never not 100. Which means that my skip wasn't working. So what I was trying to do here is saying, okay, I want to skip these ticks. Okay, so when we go to the next checkpoint, I want to skip 1 ticks, which means next time I set myself to max speed. So let's do this. Let's not set ourselves there. Let's do that and run. So we'll do a little bit of a reset. Again, I'm okay. So I see the changing target. I don't see skipping that though. Oh, you know what? Skipping, my speed is still 100. So what I really want to do. Tea Kettle, hello. How are you doing today? Is also set our speed to 0. I guess like otherwise, what did I just do? Otherwise we want to set our, well, there's no difference because it's a return in there. That's fine. Ooh, wait, I think I saw change. Yeah, okay. We went to 0. It might not be enough. But we're still really close at this point. But I think we're still going to lose. The question is, are we going to be closer? I don't think we are actually closer. I think we're losing by slightly more. If I skip by more than by 1, let's say I skip by 3 ticks, which might be a lot. I want to see if I do something bigger, if there's a bigger difference. I get there before the boss. Albert, hello. How are you doing today? Taking the last train home. Nice. Do you get so? Do the trains where you are have internet on them? No? Okay, that's too bad. There's supposed to be, so some of the commuter trains that we have, which are not trains between cities, but usually like trains inside of cities, sometimes one of the cars will have internet on it. That sometimes works, which is nice, but I've never managed to get on it. We the only intercity trains that I've been able to take are for commuting type stuff is in California between like San Jose and San Francisco. I never did it for like actual work, except for 1 week when I had to go to San Francisco for like a training thing. And it sucks. We use the everybody else laughs at us, but in America we called it the baby what is it called? The Baby Express? No, the what do you call your high speed trains? It's like it's I don't know, it's something like that. I think there's a more generic thing for a bullet. Yeah, it was a baby bullet. It was a baby bullet train is what it's called. And what that means, all that means is that it cuts 3/4 of the stops out. That's it. That's why it's a bullet train, because it just doesn't stop nearly as often. Luckily, it stops near where I was living at the time, so I could just go to the train station, get on, and then be in San Francisco in 45 minutes as opposed to an hour and a half. Which that was nice. And everybody else would laugh at us because we called that a bullet train. It didn't go any faster. No, our train system here in America is really screwed up. That's yeah, okay. You wanna know how screwed up our train system is? Our passenger trains are not allowed to go faster than the commercial trains that like do all the cargo stuff. And so if a cargo stuff needs to pass by or get through, the passenger trains have to go off to the side, one of the side rails, and let them pass. Also, the cargo trains are really long, so there's huge delays. And on top of that, it's more expensive to take a train than using a plane, and now longer and like less reliable for time because again, they have to constantly stop for the big commercial trains, which is like basically there's no reason to ever take a train here if you're actually commuting for something, especially between cities or between states. Unless you're there for like you just want to look at the countryside that you wouldn't normally be able to see. Okay, so what happened? I was slower, true, but I did stop more than I needed to, which might be good. So I think, so if I skip 2 ticks, if I skip 2 ticks, I wonder if instead of skipping a tick, it's more of that I want to skip if we are above a certain amount. Because I know what this is here. Okay, so I might know that here. So, okay, get the checkpoints. State the change target. I don't think that this target would change then, right? It would be a new target. So then let's just check the angle. If pod dot, if our angle, okay, if our angle is, let's do the angle of, if that's increasing, right? So if the next checkpoint angle, if that's greater than or equal to pod dot angle, I want to, let's skip 2 ticks. Give ourselves a chance to point at where we're going before continuing on again. So different variations on what the boss is doing, not necessarily just, hey, we changed target, slow down, maybe more like only slow down if I really need to. Because if I'm going 2 to 3, that's, did I do this wrong? If the next checkpoint angle is greater than pod angle, then I am updating the pod angle with the next checkpoint angle after this. So this is the previous angle. Oh, and then if it's not 0. So oh, it's almost like I want the delta. Okay, let's try something different. So if this minus that is greater than or equal to like 1.0, maybe it's like 3, then I skip ticks, maybe 5. Absolute value. So if it might be a negative number, just turn it into a positive number. Jim, hello. How are you doing today? For you pay €66 monthly subscription. That is super cheap compared to us. Okay, so I am definitely, okay, so that's slowing me down way too much. But the general idea is there. Oh, yeah, yeah. I do that a lot sometimes where I like don't realize it, but then I realize it like right as you all are suggesting it. The ticket is €12. And that's intra country or intra city. So it costs me about that much from like a bus for a day. For a trip sometimes, I think, which is not great. So let's say I want to do this for a really much bigger angle. Like if this is like 90, if I'm more than 90 degrees, so and I have to be pointed in a general right direction. There's some things that we do that's really good and some things that could be much better. Okay, between 2 cities in the same region. Okay, I feel like we're better than last time, but we're still falling behind. I wonder if we should just skip one tick. But it's not as bad as I thought it would be. Are we catching up? I mean, not that it would matter. The race doesn't last long enough. Let's skip one tick. Wait, why did I quit? I was doing WQ, not... Oh, my jump went away. Okay, fine. But I think I did it. So skipping one tick only. So what I'm thinking about justification right now, skipping ticks, all that really means is skipping my thrust. So like it's 0 thrust for like one frame or 2 frames or however many it is. So right now the justification for it is I skip the frame when I'm pointed away from where I want to go. Vin, hello. How are you doing today? I want to see how far behind I am. Okay, so I got past 3, barely. I think last time I was just getting 2, 3. The other thing that we can do is that we can start skipping frames. We could actually do the skip before we reach the checkpoint, right? Because we actually have tested that too. So let's see if I do this. Okay, checkpoints get okay, so if instead of our angle, if the distance to next is less than let's say 1,000 or maybe 2,000, then let's skip. Let's try skipping 3. And I want to see what happens. At my school city, they offer self-service like bikes for 100. I was going to say 150 euro a month, but that's 1.50, right? Ooh, I'm 2 first. Okay, I'm much closer now. I feel like this is a good. I wonder if I can skip more. Or if I should skip less. We could also do the entire turn early thing. Okay. Yeah, there's some colleges here that do that, and they've gotten better, but a lot of them are owned by companies, and so they get to sort of set whatever they feel like. If I set, okay, I feel like this worked. And then I want to get the next target now, which we know how to do. That's down here. Okay, so if we're all mapped, okay, so I really want to do something like this. If our distance, I get the next, and I return that, and I also do pod that skip ticks. Let's skip 3. Checkpoints. Am I not using checkpoints? Oh, no. I need a semicolon. That's why. Something that I would love to do is take a train trip across the country here, because there are some sites that apparently you just can't get otherwise. I don't think I went to 0. I don't think we skipped. Yeah, that's not happening. So I don't think... This isn't working the way we expect it to. It is... Okay, so target's all mapped. Okay, so I'm doing that. Okay, so if the checkpoints are all mapped and the angles, let's say, oh yeah. Angle 0. The next checkpoint distance is small. Let's make that nice and big so we actually see it when it happens. I don't think this ever happens. I'm also really curious. What is... Oh, right, the pod velocity thing I think is not correct either. I think we should do checkpoint distance is less than like 2,000. Helix is a Vim-like editor, right? Yeah, so it's a Vim-like editor that's written in Rust. And it has a lot of things that are sort of like set up for it already. So you don't need to worry about it too much. I don't think that I'm still doing the thing that I wanted to do. I'm seeing some output here, but that looks like all things mapped, as opposed to like, I don't see all the exclamation points. So I don't think I'm skipping. Okay, so this was the last frame. Okay, so we're looking at... Yeah, okay, so on lap 3, we got all checkpoints mapped. And changing target. Let's see. How long did it take to start feeling comfortable in Rust? You found it extremely tough to learn coming from TypeScript and Python. I'd say about a year. Probably about a year to start feeling comfortable with it, and then about another year before I started like really doing like cool stuff with it. I'm sure there's things I could have done to be faster with that, and there's also things I probably could have done to be slower. Oh, you set up Obsidian to have Vim bindings. Nice. To stop adding the colon W everywhere. Yeah, I do that in VS Code whenever I have to use that all the time. Yeah, that's another thing. Vin, one of the best ways to get comfortable in the language, like if you have any questions or anything else, ask away. We'll do our best to help out. Also, doing things like this, just immersion in the language is like probably the best way to just get used to it. Okay, so this is not happening. Okay, so if the checkpoints are all mapped, which, I mean, I believe that's the case, but let's verify. If the checkpoints are all mapped and the next angle that we're going at is 0, so we're pointing directly at the thing, and the next checkpoint distance is less than 2,000. I mean, one would think that we should get that unless all mapped is false. Let's find out. You're doing your Python math assignments in Rust. Oh, nice. Each tool has a purpose? Absolutely, it does. Okay, all mapped is true. So if all mapped is true, I probably should have just debugged all these things. So the next checkpoint angle. And then finally, next checkpoint distance. I did it again. I keep on doing this over and over and over and over again. You would think I would have figured it out. Wait, absolute value, but 0 shouldn't matter. 0 should be the same. Is it ever 0? It is 0 sometimes. Like it's 0 there. Like, okay, so Here's a case. So we're coming at 1 again. Next checkpoint angle 0. So I am heading directly towards it. All maps, checkpoints, all map true. Next checkpoint distance is 4,000, 3,000. Okay, less than 2,000. At this point in time, that should hit. Oh, but wait. Why is my next checkpoint at -2 now? So if it's less than or equal to 2, will that work? Utsby, hello! How are you doing? It's been a while. Yeah, I know comparing that is generally a bad idea. It's been working so far, so it makes me wonder, though, if it's something else. Well, yeah, but like in Rust, I could still have a problem with that. Oh, I saw the cut. I saw the cut. It actually happened. And am I closer? I didn't cut on that one, and I should have. Look how close I got with that one. Okay. Not bad. Now, if I'm close to it, I can actually have a greater distance, and it's probably a greater angle, and it's probably going to be fine. So if I do something like, if you're less than 5 degrees off, or maybe 3 degrees, we could do slightly farther away, or I could cut for longer. Let's try that. Oh, right, and I don't cut on that first one, which I could probably cut on the first. I feel like I'm playing catch up after that first, the first checkpoint. Which, like, considering how we used our boost, we got pretty far behind, and then we caught up pretty quickly. I bet we can. And we're ahead now. Hey, okay, we win that one. Awesome. I bet we can do even better if we cut even more. You're trying to remember what you did for this. It's been a while since you looked at it, and the rules change as you go through the leagues. Yeah, that's what they seem to add, new things constantly. Okay, cool. So I don't need those debugs anymore. So, okay, this is choosing which target to go for, and then I want to, I pretty much want to skip the ticks regardless based upon how close we are. So it's really going to be something like, if next distance is less than or equal to like 2,000, Let's try that. Just like skip it all the time. You try to use Zellage, but you prefer the tabs on your terminal emulator. I mean, that's perfectly fine, right? I used Screen a very long time ago, and so I got really used to that. And so because of that, I'm all in on those type of things. Okay, I'm significantly ahead the entire race this time. I'm much happy with this. He's mapping the checkpoints and optimizing that, so kind of doing more than the league really requires, but it'll be useful in the future. I know, it's kind of funny that I've like got all that stuff set up and I was still losing by like a mile. Have I heard of SSHX? No, I don't think I have. Okay, I'm happy about this. Okay, so we're winning there. Let's test and let's see if we get into Meta League. All right, we are orange. The very okay. Oops. Oh, it's a way to share a terminal. Interesting. In your browser. Oh, okay. I don't know how much I like that. I was saying like I thought I was in last place because I see them in front of me, but I'm way ahead of them. Nope. Yeah, I'm way ahead of them. I kept on thinking that I was orange, but I was red that time. Yeah, okay. So every single time. Okay, we need to fix this. So we jumped ranks. Oh, I guess we have to be up to the top. We jumped up to 9,000. We jumped up. Oh, we're losing now. Yeah, so I need to be aware of our velocity. I don't know how they're tracking velocity because when I was trying it, it was very much different. So I'm aware of the next checkpoint, but the first map through, if I'm too slow, this won't really work. So I need like a there's a few ways that I could keep track of this. So the problem is if the first one, so let's say we were going from here to here, from the beginning of the race, I'm within the 2000, so I don't move, like I go a little bit forward and that's it. I just immediately stop because I'm within the 2000, but I don't have the speed to cut off for that. So what we need to do is the dynamic this distance. So we need to calculate this dynamically, but we don't have an accurate speed. So skip ticks for, that's fine. but I need to know to not do this. I need to calculate our speed. Currently, I have my position. When am I updating the position? So I get the position here. Calculate. Okay, so I do have a calculate velocity position. But that's the only time position's being used. So I get the new position. Self position distance to new position. Self moving is true. Set it to 0. Oh, and I set the new position. Okay, what is my velocity? And we can still use this as long as we sort of like get an idea of what it is, we can try, like as long as it's consistent, which it should be, it's just numbers and math, right? These are like 600, 400. Our speed is, oh, this speed is the X and Y speed. Oh, no wonder that this is so different. Okay. Whereas this is a singular scalar. Okay, so I'm curious. I'm moving. I boosted this point in time, so like right around here, I'm moving 600, so 2000 would be fine. It's like 2. Let's take our velocity and multiply it by 3. Let's try that. Maybe by 2. 2 might be good. Let's see. Oh, Zellage is getting too much in the way for you to use Vim. I can see that. All right, I don't think this is going to help unless, okay, I need to go until we see like a 1 right next to the, whatever this is. Okay. I think that worked. Oh, and then that was a good jump. What was wrong with taking the difference between your positions per tick? Nothing's wrong. I think somebody had noticed that my velocity and the velocity here was very different. But then as I just noticed that the velocity here is on the X and a Y specifically. and it doesn't seem to make any sense. I don't know what the delta time is, so I can't use delta time for velocity. Oh, I lost. I wasn't even paying attention to the rest of it. Why did I lose? I felt like I was decently doing good. So I was ahead going into starting lap 3. Look at that. They got a better turn than I did. So let's put that 3 like I was thinking. Yeah, and I took the magnitude, which is also a speed of a vector. So I don't think it's going to help that much. Like, I don't think in this case that I don't really need the delta in like the tick speed for like calculating physics type stuff. I don't think it's going to be that complex. All right, I'm much further ahead this time, which is much better. I do. I don't. I feel like there's. Oh, thanks, Jim, for stopping by. Whenever I've used delta time for stuff, it's not for velocity of the actual object in the world, but rather for making sure that it appears in the correct place in like the printing of it. But Utsby is correct. This is not a game engine that like has fractional seconds. It's tick based. So I don't actually know, like there is no fractions. It would be a 0 every single time because it's always like 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I won that time, right? Yeah, so let's test this in the arena. All right, I went position 3,000 or so. I wish I could have my position over on the left, over on the right here, but let's see how far we can go. I'm in red this time. So I felt I had a slow start because that one was pretty close. But I won by a pretty significant amount. I'm red again. I like that boost that we're getting. The new boost code is pretty clutch. We're boosting from off screen to take off from farther away. It's really good. I don't know. I'm feeling pretty good about this code now. Go Gadget Pod Racer. All right. Let's see. Ooh, this one is a close one. But that tight turn radius that we've got. Oh, I think I was 1 pixel off. So if I oversteered on that one, I bet if I had some minor better steering updates, I would have beaten that race. Okay, so far so good. Where are we in the oh, we're at position 503. How can somebody be above the boss in ranking? If you beat the boss, don't you just immediately progress to the next league? I really wish I could make this bigger. Like, have this thing on the side. So once you got the checkpoints mapped, are you compensating for the position of the checkpoints after the one you're about to hit yet? In a way, yes. All right. I guess we're slowly moving up. So what we're doing is when I'm slowly, if I'm pointing at the target and I'm pretty close to the target, I not only cut my engines in preparation to turn, I also begin turning early, or at least I set my target so that I should start turning early. That's what I'm supposed to be doing. I think that it doesn't, like, it starts turning a little bit. I'm not 100% sure that's working correctly. I'm thinking getting the midpoint of the current and the next 2 checkpoints, then determining a goal position that's a radius distance from the next checkpoint to the calculated midpoint. Oh, yeah, that could be good. The other thing that we can do is do some calculations on like a trajectory, like simulate a race and try to figure out what that would be. But if this is working and it's winning, then I think we're fine. But I think I can start, I think I should be able to start calculating the next turn and actually start turning earlier. The other things that we can do is I could start figuring out, okay, if like 2 is here and I need 3, what if I hit this corner of 2 if I'm coming in here, so like I set a target, it's like, okay, I actually want to go here. And then cut like, nope, I wanted to go here and then back to here again. And it's like really not over, like not go past it. That would be really cool. I'm not exactly sure how to calculate that. Ooh, this one's close. I am handling the turns a little bit faster. And I boosted. Have we not been seen? I could swear I haven't seen very many opponents use boost. Was that a boost? There, that was the boost. Okay. Kind of like a Bezier curve. Bezier curve? Might be a naive place to start for that. Yeah, I don't know anything about that. Like whenever I've done physics for game type dev, it's always been something really simple, like just, you know, just do simple movements, and you know, if I collide with something, I collide with something and bounce off of it. I've never done any like fancy stuff. I think I did pretty much what you just described. Calculate entry and exit points for the checkpoints based upon the next target. Yeah, so like how would I calculate those? How would I do that in like real life? Let's say I was racing this like in person. Cuz like I'm not very good at racing games. Like I am not, I don't know what the right angle to use is. Oh, I think we both used our boost at the same time. So now it's all just who has the best turning radius. It's linear interpolations between endpoints, essentially. So I think I could draw out what I think it would be, but I don't know if I would be very accurate if I was to do this by hand. The sum of lerps? I've never heard of that. Is that actually a thing? Lerps? There's no way for me to see what position I'm at, right? Oh, cool. That makes it brighter. Oh, lerp is linear interpolation. I didn't realize that's what lerp stood for. I don't know if I've done linear interpolation. Also, I'm losing this race. That's not great. So I'm winning most of the races, but every once in a while I have a loss. Oh, they turn off the streetlights in your street after midnight? Oh, well, be careful. That was... I was going to say that was a bad... I was going to say that was a bad boost, but that was a really good boost. That was really good. Okay, so lerp ABT, A plus B minus A times T. Yeah, so I don't think I've done linear interpolation. And I don't know if I'd recognize when to do linear interpolation. On its own, without other people telling me. Okay, I am the red. I keep on thinking I'm the tan. But I am red. I am barely in first place. But it's a close one. How are we doing on... Okay, I'm at 463. I haven't... Okay, so we're stuck around here. So we need more improvements to be had. But I feel like we're slightly better. If you have 2 points and you want to smoothly iterate through intermediate values... Oh, okay, so that's what gives you... Okay, so the... linear interpolations gives you... How do I is like T the number of that? It's like T, if I do T like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and like 5 would be closer to the end, or is it between 0 and 1? Is T always between 0 and 1? A is the start, B is the end, T is the ratio. I don't know what ratio would be in this case. There's many ways of doing smooth iterations, but lerping is a pretty basic way. I think I once did it using... I have no idea what I used. I did it at one point in time, and I forget what I did. T is 0 through 1. Okay, so if I do something like 1.0, that would be the same as B, essentially. Get me like I want the same number as B. But let's reset for a second though, right? Because for Wood League, I shouldn't need to do that, right? I should be able to beat all of the... I should be able to beat this by just using boost at the right time, which I feel I'm using boost at the right time. I feel like it's a tweak now. I feel like we can tweaks. So... like for one thing, I feel like we should have a minimum velocity. Okay, so if I want to skip, but then I want to also like, if my velocity is too low. Okay, so if we're skipping, if we're in the middle of skipping and my velocity is too low, let's stop skipping and continue on. So if self-dot velocity is less than, it seems to be pretty high, like 600 when we're going at full speed or so. So if it's like less than 200, then I want to self dot speed, max speed again. Stop skipping. Let's see, text to skip. -1, all that stuff. I guess it's more of equals. So if our velocity is below a certain amount, then I just don't want to skip anymore. So if self dot velocity is less than 200, then I want it to be 0. We're no longer skipping. Else, just subtract more. Or I don't do that. And I clamp here. And I clamp our speed. Which... So if you're less than 200, we just max speed. Why not? What could possibly go wrong with that? You always love what happens with interpolations when you go outside the bounds. Ooh, that could be... I wonder if we could do some fun art with code stuff for that. I am not doing very good against the boss in this one, I don't think. So that is... Whatever I did is not working. Oh, but it's another one of those 1 to 0 ones. Yeah. So starting early like that. I wonder if I don't want to clamp the speed. Or if I want to do something like clamp speed, if my speed is less than 200, like set it to 50. Like that's the only thing I changed, right? Oh, we could do something like, don't... Oh, that was not great. That boost was way out here. Yeah, that boost was pretty bad. So in run, if distance to next is greater than 10,000, self.angle is less than 1, less than 0.1. That was way more than that. So that was... Oh, no. I think it was the same problem as normal. My normal problem. Oh, I did new racetrack. I didn't want to do that. Oh, but good. It's still the same general layout. Maybe train a neural network on the best patterns, then use it. I think I want to say that this sort of game is leading towards that. Like by the time we get to, what is it, Crystal Leagues? Like Legend, I think that you're doing neural network type stuff. I think. Because it did say that this Mad Pod Racing is teaching you about like artificial intelligence type things. I'm still losing though. Okay, so the boost was good. I feel like it's a tweak. Like maybe we should only skip 3 ticks. Maybe we should do this like slightly more. I'm violating my try only one thing rule. You think you can get a perfectly optimized path using math? I think that the neural bots are less about paths and more about fighting against each other, because I know that in the next league we're going to start running into fun issues with collisions. We collide. This is so close against the boss, but I think I just barely win. Okay, let's try this in the arena. Can you all see this? Is this visible? This size? Can I? Oh, I can increase it. Perfect. Oh, it's still pretty hard to see, isn't it? I am red in this one. I am not winning. And now I am winning. Now I'm not. Oh, man, this one's going back and forth. Okay, let's just try full screening this. After we get maybe every few victories, I'll go out and we'll see whether or not the little notice of like, hey, we need to do more will come in. We are red this time. Stream until bronze. I was hoping to get bronze. It's close. It's really close. I have not, he has not used, or they have not used their boost yet, so they can still catch up. We are orange. They used boost right off the bat, which was not a good idea. I mean, it was an interesting idea, and it would work if the first one was much farther away. Okay. I mean, if we keep on winning, we'll eventually get to bronze. We're orange. We're behind. Oh, did they use their boost yet? We were behind to begin with, which is not. It's a little bit scary. It does kind of feel like it's not completely random, does it? For positions of the checkpoints. It looks like they're in kind of the same places or the same patterns over and over again. Let's see. Utsby, you're holding in Legend League. Nice. Without paying any attention to battle mechanics at all. The code just focuses on fast drivers. Oh, interesting. So you're just like ignoring your opponents and just you're just being faster than them and letting them slow themselves down trying to fight you. I could see how that could work. Oh, boss 3. We're fighting against the boss. And we are winning by a mile. Is this it? Are we going to get through into bronze? That was the boss. And we're against another human player again. Ooh, ooh. I heard something. Yep, we are ranking number 1. Promotion to Bronze League in 5 seconds. We got it. Yes. Okay, you're going to give it to me, game? There we go. Okay. You made it to the next league. Pods will now collide with each other. Pods will forcibly bounce off each other when they come into contact. Additionally, extra maps are now available for racing. Okay, so it was the same maps over and over again. Your reward is more work. Isn't it always in these things? So I guess out of curiosity. So first of all, let's clean up some of these warnings and maybe git commit this. So made it to bronze. Oh, right, that exclamation points screwed up. Okay, so first of all, we're not using defaults. That's fine. We're not using any of these. We should probably start using those for tweaking. Is boost time? We're never using that. That's fine. We sort of switched to a different system. Yeah, we're not using slow down and speed up. So let's get rid of all the stuff we're not using. We're not using this next distance. So let's see. Ooh, that's it for there. And then I have a bunch of commented out code here we're going to get rid of. Okay, so we know we're doing that. Okay, those are fine. These are what we get with the thing. Okay. So I think we're good to go. Let's go ahead and push this. Let's merge in, what was that? That was Wood League. Wood 1. And then what is it? Git push dash D origin. How do you spell origin? Origin wood 1. No, not like that. Like that? Okay. Okay, that deletes wood 1 from GitHub. Okay, so I think we're up to date. We have all the latest code. We're good to go. Now, out of curiosity, how bad is it? We've got 5 minutes left in the scheduled amount of time we got. How bad is it if I play against the boss, I guess like the test boss here that we have, boss 4, with the exact code that we had before? Oh, I missed. Oh, these are sharper. Oh, interesting. There's only 1, 2, 3. So there's less checkpoints in this one. Very interesting. Very good question. I didn't even read what's different about it. All right, let's see. Pods will now collide with each other. Pods will forcibly bounce off each other when they come into contact. Additionally, extra maps are now available for racing, which, like, this one is a weird map. There's only 3 checkpoints. We were going with 4, if you include the finish line. The goal: win the race. Rules. Okay, so the change here, so we have one boost. Okay, that's good. The change here. The pods have a circular force field around their center with a radius of 400 units, which activates in case of collisions with other pods. So if I get within 400 of them, I guess if my edge gets within 400, so if I get within 800 of them, there's a sort of a bounce. These haven't changed. Game inputs, okay, so 6 integers, so x, y, next x, next y, next dist, next angle. Opponent x, opponent y. And then output is, yeah, exactly the same thing. So the inputs are exactly the same, with the only difference now being this. So I would almost imagine that my minimum it'd be so toxic to have a Rambot just drive to your opponent's position instead of checkpoints. I think that if you, oh, what is it? If you do that, you will always lose. And then because you're playing against bots, they don't care. So if I clamp, if we just decrease the minimum velocity to like 100, I wonder if this will allow me those tight turns when the smaller maps like this. Oh, and then also I need to potentially make it so I can boost at it. Nope, I missed. I still missed. I'm missing between 2 to get here. That's a really tight turn. This map sucks. If I try a different map, are they all going to be the same? Well, I guess, how about this? Let's just test it in the arena and see what happens. And see how far we get before a loss. Because I'm assuming that we're going to fight against a lot of other similar level bots. That the first one, especially like higher up in the league. Yeah, it does seem like I'm missing by a few pixels. So like oversteering might be a good idea. Or changing that angle. I might need to change the angle. I think there's that thing where like if I'm off by like 5 degrees or something like that, I'll cut my speed. Okay, I won that one. Hey, that collision helped me out. Oh, I missed 2. No, it didn't. It very much did not help me out. Oh, yeah. Okay. So that's my problem. I'm missing by a few pixels. So I need to clamp down that angle that I'm willing to boost at or cut my thrust at. So it needs to be smaller. I think I'm going like if it's like a 3 degree difference or 4 or 5 degree. So I probably want to do something like 2 degree or 1 degree. But besides that, I think you're right, Utsby. I think we'll get decently far in this league without any major changes. Oh, this one has 6. Oh, and our poor opponent. Are we gonna knock? We're gonna knock our opponent into the checkpoint, which is probably gonna start it up again. Oh no, we didn't get there. It lost. Oh, it missed. Oh, that's bad for it. My pod is a bully. My pod doesn't even care. It doesn't even my pod doesn't even notice that they exist. Solaris, hello. How are you doing today? On the first lap, you don't know the circuit, but from the second lap onward, you know it. So these subsequent laps can be improved. Absolutely, they can be. And I do a little bit of improvement, but not very much. Like, it's a very bare minimum of what I try to do. Basically, what I have right now is that if I'm heading straight towards it, and if I'm heading pretty much straight towards it and I'm going fast enough, I'll cut my engines and start turning early. And that's the only improvement that I have. Like, I'm not doing any other sort of movement around. Oh, I'm pink. I'm red on this one. So yeah, those are definitely things that I could be doing a lot better. Oh, that was nice of me to knock them so they couldn't even get to the second one until I had built up speed. Doing surprisingly well, but I don't know how long. Okay, where are we on? I can't actually even see my rankings on here. Shouldn't it show me? Oh, here it is. 42,000. We have got a lot of we got a lot of these to go before we get to the boss. So perhaps what I'll do, I might let this, does this run offline? Like, if this is running, if I quit out of this, we end the stream, I would come back tomorrow, will it actually just show if I've like got promoted? Oh no, poor opponent bot is circulating one of the checkpoints. You don't have to be active. The website just carries on. Nice, excellent. That's good to know. All right, let's see. Your idea would be to simulate for a few turns the trajectories that various powers and angles configuration will generate, assuming no collision and favoring the configurations whose trajectories cross the next checkpoint, and have a final speed vector between next point and right. I don't know how to do that. Also, Tea Kettle Drone, you redeemed Quack. It's been a while since we've done that. So this was made by a where is it? This was made, oh, do I have a Quack? I don't have a Quack, that one. I have to go to this. Yeah. That's our Quack. I want to someday make it so that we can make that happen automatically. But I don't have an API for this. But this was made by Danaka in Rust, which is really cool. Am I doing a winter upcoming challenge on CG? What's the winter challenge? Oh, coding game. I have never done any of the challenges. This is basically the first one of these sort of like game type things. I played a little bit of coding game 3 years ago. Not very much. Pretty much if we go to home, this is as far as I've gotten on this, which apparently we get some XP for that. So the next one. Oh, I need to reach the Bronze League in 2 games. Oh, so it wants me to play a different game. Okay. Oh, it's akin to something like that, a bot programming challenge. In bot programming, you'll be able to find most past challenges. Okay. I've never really looked too much in here. Is this the fall? Is this the one you're talking about? The fall challenge? We can look at the previous ones, right? Like here, fall challenge 2020. Well, so technically, I looked it up. Winter begins on December 23rd, if you'll believe it or not. That's always felt too late for me. So technically, we're still in fall. This one seems great. I haven't tried it. I love the visuals. These visuals look great. Yeah, we might be able to try that. I kind of want to like try going like getting into to like gold if possible in the bot one, but we can try going through some of the other ones. If we get bored of them, we can try some other games too, and then like come back to these later. But all right. So I think we're pretty much done here. I'm going to let my bot run and do its own thing for a little bit of time. Tomorrow I will be back. In the morning, we'll be doing more Rust Axum development, and then we'll play around with more of coding game tomorrow afternoon and see if we can get out of bronze. See how that goes. The ones you've tried are fantastic bits. Tron something, keep off the graph. Oh, interesting. Yeah, so maybe we will try that. That could be fun to sort of like go into that one and try some of those. There's a lot of other sort of gaming type things that I want to try too, which look a lot of fun as well. So I don't know how much longer we want to stay with this before we would potentially get bored, but I'm having a lot of fun. Anyways, so with that, I don't have anybody want to raid right now, so we'll just go ahead and end it. Thank you everybody for hanging out with me today. As I just mentioned, I will be back tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. Mountain Time for some Axum and Rust programming, and then again more coding game, or at least fun programming, tomorrow afternoon at 2:30 p.m. and these are all Mountain Times. Albert, if you're gonna stream tomorrow, nice, excellent. I don't know if you're at the right time zone for me. It might be while I'm sleeping. But anyways, have a great rest of your day, and I will see you next time. Bye.